Okay, so usually we're here talking about, flashy new gadgets or some kind of AI software.
Mm,
But today we are looking at a piece of hardware that honestly shouldn't really work as well as it claims to.
I know the one.
We're doing a deep dive into the DVDO HDMIAOC1-70M.
It's not the catchiest name in the world, I'll give you that.
Definitely not. But this is an HDMI cable that runs for 70 meters. I mean,
Yep.
that's 230 feet.
Yeah.
Usually, if I try to run a standard copper HDMI cable more than, maybe 20 feet, I start to get snow on the screen or the signal it just dies.
Right, it cuts out.
So how is this thing pushing 4K video across nearly a football field?
Well, that's the core problem it solves. You see, copper is great for short distances, but it has electrical resistance.
Okay.
Over 230 feet, the signal just degrades, and that wire acts like a giant antenna, picking up all sorts of electromagnetic interference from, power lines, your lights, everything.
Right.
This DVDO cable, it sidesteps that whole problem by using active optical technology.
Ah, so that's the AOC in the model name.
Exactly. It's a hybrid cable. It has normal copper connectors on the end, so it plugs in just like any other cable.
Okay.
But under the hood, it's using OM3 high-speed fiber optics.
Yeah.
Basically converts the electrical HDMI signal into pulses of light.
And light doesn't care about electrical resistance.
Exactly. Light is totally immune to all that electromagnetic noise.
Yeah.
That's how they can promise, pristine picture and sound quality at 70 meters.
Yeah.
It's just beaming the data.
Let's talk about the bandwidth, though. The datasheet says 18 GBPs. Is that enough for a modern setup? We're seeing cables now that claim much higher numbers for 8K.
That's a good question. For the vast majority of content people are actually watching today, 18 GBPs is the sweet spot. It gets you 4K resolution at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
But the really important number on there for enthusiasts is the color space, 4.4.4.
Which means no color compression, no subsampling, right?
In plain English, yeah. It means the cable isn't throwing away color data just to save on bandwidth.
Yeah.
Every single pixel gets its own unique color info.
So if you're a gamer or using it for a PC monitor, that's where you'd see it, in text clarity.
Immediately, the fine lines are so much sharper compared to a compressed signal.
It also says it supports HDR, 3D, and ARC, the audio return channel. But I want to circle back to the active part of active optical. Usually active cables are a pain. You're hunting for a spare USB port on your TV just to power the cable itself.
That is the standard headache.
Yeah.
But this model is surprisingly efficient. The specs specifically highlight that it needs no external power source.
What? So it just
It just works. It draws the tiny amount of power it needs right from the HDMI connection itself.
So no power bricks, no extra dongles. You just plug it in.
Precisely. They call it a hassle-free install, and for once, that's actually true.
That helps, but I'm still thinking about the physical installation. You said it's fiber optic. That's glass, right?
It is.
If I'm an installer dragging 230 feet of this through a tight conduit or a ceiling, isn't it just going to snap?
That is a totally valid fear. Fiber is, famously fragile.
Yeah.
But DVDO seems to have armored this specific model. It's still really thin, only 4.8 millimeters, so it's flexible. But the datasheet specifies a pulling strength of 10 kilograms, so about 22 pounds.
So you can actually give it a real tug without destroying your investment.
And we should probably talk about that investment.
Go on.
We're looking at a price point of $299.
Oof. Okay, so that is a pretty steep jump from the $10 cord you grab at the checkout counter.
It is, but you have to shift your thinking. A $10 cord connects your Blu-ray player to your TV 3 feet away. This cable, this is structural.
It's infrastructure.
Exactly. It's for connecting an equipment rack in a basement to a projector upstairs or bridging a massive conference room. You aren't just paying for a wire. You're paying for a guarantee.
A guarantee that you don't have to rip open your drywall in 6 months to replace a cheap cable that failed.
That's the one. That's also why it has gold-plated connectors to prevent corrosion over the long haul.
So it effectively just deletes distance as a limitation for your home theater layout. But it does leave me with a thought. We're swapping out copper for fiber optics just to handle 4K reliably.
Stick shift.
Right. So as we inevitably move toward 8K and whatever comes after that, are we approaching a point where the copper wire is effectively dead for high-speed data? I mean, are future homes just going to be wired with light?
That's something to think about.
Something to mull over. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.